Yo, what's up, y'all? How y'all niggas doing? How y'all niggas doing? It's been a while since I made a video. Or maybe it hasn't been a while, I'm not sure. But it's been a while since I uploaded a video. So I wanted to do a reaction to this video called Black Guy Finally Gives Myron What He Deserves. So let's see what this is about for let's see if Myron really got what he deserves this time. You feel me? Or Shay be clickbaiting that bitch a lot. But let's see. And also guys, I just came from the gym. So please, I'm starving, bro. I didn't eat before I went to the gym, which was a huge fucking mistake. But yeah. So I'm gonna be eating, so please forgive a nigga for being hungry. Y'all could call me a big bag if y'all like, but a nigga hungry. Trying to close this shit. There we go. Alright, let's get into it.
When Charlie Kirk was alive, he went viral for his in-person debates, whether that was on, pre-recorded shows or on college campuses. He did pretty well with these ideas. But there was one major criticism of Mr. Charlie Kirk, is that his debates were one-sided. He wasn't trying to really change his position on anything, and he would completely dismiss your arguments even if they had factual basis to them. Instead, Charlie Kirk operated like this.
To me, a bad faith argument is an argument with someone who is unwilling or unable to articulate what would convince them to change their mind. If you're having a discussion with someone and they can't articulate what's the reason or what's the evidence or whatever that's going to change their mind, there's no conversation to be had, in my opinion, because you're stuck in your ways.
This is a good definition of a bad.
I could agree with that. I feel like if you're having a debate, the goal of the debate is at least to try to educate both sides of the party. But you gotta be willing to like be proven that your stance is wrong on something, or maybe not as strong as you think. But if you think like, nah, I don't care what you say, I'm not gonna change 100%, I'm right, then yeah, there's no point in having that argument.
Bad faith argument. And typically people who have bad faith arguments, and I would say Jehovah's Witnesses have them all the time. Woo! Is that people are not willing to accept new information that may make you change your decision. And that's the whole purpose of debate, is to see who has the best argument. And if somebody has a stronger argument based on fact, then by theory, you should be able to change your vantage point and just, keep growing and developing intellectually. But
That's a fact. Hold on, let me move my camera because there's a baddie right here. Let me put my shit on this side.
this is not what happens, especially on the right. You have guys who are now going to colleges and having debates in bad faith. And a good example of this is our guy, Myron Gaines. Now, recently, he was at a college campus and he was debating, in my opinion,
Ain't no way this nigga put wiring games. That is so fucking corny, bro. Man.
a very, 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 very intelligent brother, a guy who stuck to the course. He didn't get into any kind of, ad hominem attacks. He stuck exactly to the code. And it was a pretty good back and forth. But I want you to hear what he had to say.
Let me ask you this then. Would have happened. If that racism is so bad, why is it that black people actually did better during the Jim Crow era? They had their own businesses. They were making more money. I'll tell you why, because the nuclear family. So when black people were the most oppressed and had the least rights and the least civil liberties, they actually did better than they do now. So again, nothing can keep you back.
You're talking about
nothing can keep you back from success besides yourself.
So you're talking about Reconstruction, right? What happened to all those successful businesses and things that were around during Jim Crow? They were destroyed, bro. They were destroyed.
And who destroyed
cousin?
It?
Our government or white racists, but that happened. You can't even lie. That's history, brother. That's history.
Again, choice and accountability.
So Myron is arguing here that blacks did better under Jim Crow.
I mean, that yeah, you really can't argue that. That is a fact. It was destroyed by the government. But what choice did the black people say to be? Did the black people go out and tell the government, "Hey, destroy my building"? Hey, I want you guys to go out there and fuck my shit up? Did they do that? What do you mean choice and accountability? What are they accountable for? Getting a oh, you know what? The government destroyed my shit. You know what? Yeah, it's my fault. Huh? What are you talking about?
than now. All right. This is one of
And
the
you know what's crazy? This nigga talking about accountability, but when he got deplatformed or demonetized, I should say, off YouTube, he didn't take not one fucking ounce of accountability as to why he got demonetized. Not one. Everything was YouTube's fault and everybody else's fault besides his. And this is the nigga talking about choices and accountability? Come on, bro.
arguments that a lot of people on the conservative right use. And it's an argument that I've used before. Okay. But here is the problem with using this argument is that when blacks did better under Jim Crow, they were also married, and people also show that. But what people don't understand is that 1 out of every 3 Black American or African American at this particular time owned a home. Black businesses in the 40s and 50s were even more flourishing than they were in the 60s. Now, there's a documentary here on YouTube called Inside the Negro Middle Class, and this was done in 1968. And in this particular video, you have blacks who acknowledge that the 40s and the 50s were even a stronger time for black businesses and most notably black wealth, right? That the predecessors were doing better. So what happens is this: if I have more businesses in my community, if I have more money in my community, even if I'm under Jim Crow, I have a wealth machine that I can distract from. Now, what the brother is saying is clearly the government stole that away, or at least he will in this argument. Haiti, the community there, he talks about Black Wall Street. So the government dismantled the wealth creation for the black community, all right? So you're talking about how blacks did better under Jim Crow, but you're not talking about how blacks lost their wealth because of the government, all right? And so instead of acknowledging what the guy is saying, Myron throws an insult and says, the government, right? Like making fun or mocking the guy, which you should never do in debate. He sticks to his argument of choice and accountability. This is debating in bad faith. If you're really debating, you should be fair and address his position. You don't want to address his position because if you do, clearly you lose because you do know that he is correct. There's no way that conservatives can say that blacks did better under Jim Crow than today, but not address the fact that blacks had more businesses, more wealth. They weren't getting their business destroyed by the government at this time, things like that. All right. If you're going to accept that, you have to also accept that the government did intervene to destroy all of that. And if you're not going to accept that, stop using that argument. And this guy, in my honest opinion, got the better of Myron. But wait, there's more.
The 90s, we're just
Choice
a
and
couple.
accountability.
That was a little bit ago. We're
Choice
still
and
living in the
accountability.
Okay, so what you're saying?
Because
So the
women
people in
decided to
Tulsa,
divorce the
the people
man
in Tulsa,
and get
Oklahoma,
married
they
to the
chose.
state.
You see how when Myron was talking, the guy didn't over talk him at all. He waited for him to finish. You see the difference in the respect. I just want to point that out.
They chose for the Klan to come around. They chose for that. Is that what the fuck? You're talking about choice and responsibility, brother.
And I'm saying,
What responsibilities does the government have?
what I'm saying is, in the 60s, when they were actually successful, right, they were oppressed to the highest degree and they were still successful. So there's no excuse with racism being reeled back to not be successful. That's what I'm saying. All these other things happened. Cool. Nobody cares. People need to pick themselves up from the bootstraps.
Maybe you need to start caring. Maybe people should start caring. Maybe we should have those conversations. Because if we don't take care of what happened and how people were left, like, taken away from their access to wealth, right? If we don't deal with those things, how are we going to move forward?
So again, we're going back to the whole idea of Myron sticking to choice and accountability. Now, let me just say this. Choice and accountability is a part of the black issue, all right? It's a part of the black community's issue in America. It's a part of the Pan-African plight with Africans and blacks in the diaspora and even Africa. Choice and accountability definitely plays a role.
Bro, what the fuck is Pan-African? I'm gonna give her that. Listen. What that tab was, right? My boy was telling me he was watching porn on his Meta Quest shit. I didn't think it was even possible to watch porn on that bitch, so I was looking it up to like whatever. But hold on, what is Pan-Africanism? Pan-Africanism is a worldwide intellectual and political movement that aims to encourage and strengthen bonds of solidarity between all people of African descent, both on African continent and in the diaspora. It is rooted in shared historical experiences of Africans and their descendants, particularly the struggles against enslavement, colonialism, racism, and neocolon yeah. with with origin trace with origin traceable to resistance on slave ships and subsequent uprising. The movement promotes a collective identity based on commonality, advocating for unity as essential for economic, social, and political progress, and has evolved from early efforts in the 1900s. First Pan-African Conference in London. The first one was held in London. That's kind of crazy. Organized by Henry Sylvester Williams to major gatherings such as the 1945 Fifth Pan-African Congress in Manchester, which galvanized the decolonization movement. Pan-Africanism encompasses a range of ideologies from cultural and intellectual solidarity. But solidarity means to be alone, right? So what do they mean? Is a worldwide intellectual and political movement that aims to encourage and strengthen bonds of solidarity between all people of African. Hold on. Isn't solidarity mean to be alone? A bond of unity between individuals. Am I?
Solidarity.
Solidarity is a bond of unity between individuals united around a common goal or against a common enemy, such as the unifying principle that defines the labor movement. I thought solidarity means like to be like alone type shit. Willingness to give psychological or material support when another person is in a difficult position or needs affection. Huh, I guess I was wrong. I thought it was like because I hear solidarity, I'm thinking like solitude and shit like that, but I guess I was wrong. So it means that it means that that Africans, or I guess people of all African descents, should come together and form a unity. So that's what Pan-Africanism mean? Huh, okay. And the crazy part is I'm African, like born there, came here when I was 7, and I didn't know what that shit was, but you learn something new every day.
Fortunately, it is not the only role. All right. Now, I say the same thing for what's going on in Pan Africanism, and I understand it may not be the only thing, but choice and accountability does matter. However, you don't want to go back to the fact that blacks lost their wealth. All right. Myron goes back to the fact that you can do well without racism, and that blacks need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. But the guy says, how can you remove the access to black wealth and then allow them to move forward? Which is an excellent point. Now, the thing is, Myron doesn't even attempt to talk about reconciliation for blacks or reparations for blacks because he's anti reparations, which means that you're operating in bad faith. But you still want to debate based on choice and accountability when you just can't steal somebody's wealth and their opportunities for how they get wealth because typically they've been, as the community, been ostracized from everything else. I mean, with HBCUs historically, you have to go there, separate but not equal as far as schools. So again, taking away somebody's access to wealth and developing their own community, and if you don't want to, help them move forward, then you don't have an argument. And Myron even acknowledges who cares about all that stuff? It doesn't matter. Now you're downplaying the issues that somebody's experienced. And again, you're only doing this because you're there to operate or to debate in bad faith. But wait, there's more.
Here's the problem. Blacks
the
want to
question.
blame the government, not blame themselves. Oh, it's the government's fault. No, it's your fault for selling the drugs.
So
But it is the government's fault.
the government has no responsibility. They have no fault, nothing bad. They didn't do anything bad. They're good. It's all
So only black people have choice and accountability. The government don't.
it's all gravy.
The government's
But
always going to
black
do
people-
dumb shit.
So
So that means it's okay.
we can't hold the government accountable.
Here's the thing. You can't depend on the government to save you. Like, just don't commit
Yo,
crimes.
you're wild. So the government, what utility does the government
depend on the
have?
government to save you.
But okay, cool. But why are they destroying us?
They're not destroying you.
So
Right now, how is the government holding you back from success right now?
I can't believe I got.
We're not. Weren't you talking about in the Jim Crow days? How did it get? How did we get to the 20th century, the 21st century?
How is the government holding you back from success right now?
The race.
I don't care about the 80s with the crack.
No,
How
okay, we'll
holding you
talk
back
about right now. What
How?
race of people are the highest exonerated? What race of people are the highest of wrongful convictions? What race of people are statistically over-policed? Go on.
Well, who commits a disproportionate amount of violent crime in America?
Out of nowhere, he says blacks want to blame the government and not blame themselves. Now, let me just say this.
Like, like those little ass kids when they be having arguments, and like let's say one kid is, or they're like roasting each other, and one kid is losing the roasting and they just can't control it, and somebody is talking about, well, you know what, I don't know, they just say some factual shit, and the nigga that's losing's answer is, well, I know you are, but what am I? That that's the type of shit that's going on right now. That shit crazy.
That does happen. All right. There are many instances in which,
Excuse me.
I see blacks blaming the government. I live in Uganda. I hear them blaming the government. It's the president's fault and all of that stuff. But the brother is trying to hold the government accountable for what it did. And Myron simply does not want to hear that. Don't get me wrong. Accountability is right. But to this issue, the black wealth part and the government being complicit in the loss of black wealth is very important to the argument. Again, which he doesn't want to talk about. Now, the brother and him starts to discuss, as you've heard, about what's going on with black criminality and how blacks are being exonerated. He goes to the fact that blacks are over policed typically and treated unfairly. But Myron has no problem using the statistics that blacks commit the most crimes. Now, if anybody who doesn't have wealth and they're not able to access it, more likely to commit crimes. And so what he wants to do here is he skips over the wealth argument and he goes directly to the fact that, well, you guys are in jail. And you do that because you don't want to address what he's talking about, because you don't want to change your mind, or you basically don't want to change your position. And this is the issue that I have with these people on the right, conservatives, because you're actually not trying to debate to change your mind. You're trying to debate to go viral. And what he typically does here is he creates a straw man argument at every chance he gets. It's like everything is a straw man. A straw man argument is basically a debate strategy to misrepresent an opponent's argument to make it easier to attack. So instead of just dealing with the fact that the government is complicit, he'll deny that and just say blacks lack accountability. And
Is he saying, is it a strong man or straw man? What's a strong man argument? Is that what he's saying? I think it might be straw man. Oh no. Okay, now a strong man. Okay, a strong man referring to as steel manning is a rhetorical technique where one constructs the strongest and most coherent and most logically sound version of the opponent's argument, even if it's not the version. Okay. It's strong man. Okay, bet.
community. So you don't want to address the actual more complex argument. You basically try to attack the argument with something more simplified, right? And the simplified version that you want to attack and create, instead of attacking his more complex argument, you basically want to just create the simplified situation that blacks are unaccountable and need to pull themselves up by the bootstraps. It's the same thing that Brandon Tatum does, the same thing that almost all of them do. The issue is this: guys like Myron continue to show their bias with their.
And the thing is, right? Let's say we give Myron that point, right? Like that blacks commit the most crimes and shit, right? This nigga still said what race is the most wrongfully arrested. Like they're in jail for shit they didn't do. That whole point right there defeats Myron's response.
Ask things like this.
Rather date a fat girl or a girl?
Would I rather date a fat girl or a girl? The fat girl.
Why? Why?
Because the girl's gonna be fat anyway.
All right.
The average black woman in America is 187 pounds, dude. She gotta be fat anyway. Goddamn. At least I can get the fat girl that don't give me an attitude. With real hair.
Myron talking to some college students about black women.
This nigga talking about real hair when he got a hairline replacement? Oh, no, that's wild.
And, who would he rather date? And he says he'd rather date a fat chick. And then again, you want to come in, have debates, serious debates with people of color, right? And so the guy ends up just walking away. And the reason why he walks away is because he knows that he's wasting his time, all right? There's nothing to be gained by talking to Myron. It's over. Myron doesn't want to address his claims. Everything, he's going to create a straw man. And so he's going to continue to waste his time. And I just want to say this. We do not need to engage with people that are anti-black in the black community, as a community, to people who just are going to have these positions. Number one, it doesn't
That's a fact.
make sense. It's wasting our time. It's wasting their time. And if they have those positions, I think that, okay, great. It's good that you have those positions, but it's not important for us to debate those things. What is the most important? That the people who believe in Black America, in the Black community, that you believe that you can do something, all right? That you want to work together. The only person that you would need to convince about any of this stuff is you. A person like Charlie Kirk or Myron, a person who can't be convinced, it doesn't matter because they can't make it better. You will hear somebody like Myron or Charlie Kirk, they'll make a lie and says, we want blacks to do better. The Hodge twins talks about we want blacks to do better. But you already know that they're anti-black, what they're talking about. So the person that you need to convince that blacks need to do better is somebody who wants to help develop the black world. Like, it is so much easier when you want to work with people who want to work with you. Discussing anything with people who are completely disinterested and their mind is made up and they are pretty much bigots, you're wasting your time. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I don't agree with debating white racists or doing shows with white racists or talking about the issues with them. Some people do. I just don't believe in it. I think that's a waste of my damn time because ultimately, no matter how much facts and data you show them, they are not going to change their position because typically having that position is lucrative for them. So why should they change their position?
He's not wrong.
They're just going to be a racial bigot and you're wasting your time. You could be talking to somebody in your community or in the black world that wants to work with you, that, will see it through. You can incentivize their behavior. And it's up to you to just really prove people wrong that you can actually do this. And doing that is such a better solution than just dealing with somebody who argues in bad faith. And again, we got to stop wasting our time as a community with people who argue in bad faith. So, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shooty Jackson, back at it again with the episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. We're out.
This is a clickbait ass title, Shay. I'm gonna tell you that, bro. That's a clickbaity ass title. But I fuck with you, so it is what it is. Winter has officially come for J-Lo. Ruby Rose 3 or 4 ways are worse than we thought. Dating a strong black woman goes wrong. Faster cheeks clapping just cost them everything. Dusty Network News. Alright. I want to do another video with the dating black woman, strong black woman goes wrong and shit, and see what happens there. But I'll do that shit afterwards. So, well, I'll do that in another video, I should say. So, with the whole Myron thing, bro, I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna argue with anyone that's talking about females having fake hair when he has a whole fucking hair transplant. Like, you can't argue with hypocrisy, gang. Can't argue with hypocrisy. I hate like the guy that was arguing with with Myron made a lot of sense, especially making arguments that contradicted because he was actually having a conversation. He was actually having a debate. Myron was just on some I don't care, nana boo boo, no matter what facts you say, da 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 da. So I don't even know why people waste their time arguing with a fuck nigga like Myron. Cause this nigga's not intellectual. He's a fucking he's a Uncle Ruckus, a fucking Uncle Tom, and the white people don't even fuck with this nigga, bro. The white people don't. He's talking about let's make America white again, nigga. That means you got to get the fuck up out of there. Like, do you think like they gonna let you win? Like, bro, they even said it themselves. The white man even said it himself. And then Myron gets mad. But we talking about some serious shit and you gonna do da, da, da. Like he's a fucking Uncle Tom, bro. I don't think anybody should take anything this nigga fucking says seriously, especially in the facts when he's talking about black people should be held accountable. When niggas is talking about, listen, yeah, black people were more rich in the Jim Crow law, but then the government destroyed our buildings. Oh, it's the black people's fault. And then when the nigga, I'm glad the nigga asked him so the government can be held accountable for anything. He moves the goalposts, talking about okay, and now explain to me how the government is fucking up your life and da da da. The nigga gives us stats that cannot be argued, that are actual facts that he loves talking about. Oh, you gotta be a fact, you gotta have the stats, you gotta have the research. The nigga out shit that he cannot fucking argue that's backed up by statistics. And his argument was, oh, black people cause more crime. Okay, cool. I'll give you that. What about the ones that are falsely accused? Well, why is there so many more falsely accused black people in jail versus any other race? Why are black people so even the black why are black people overly policed? You don't know if somebody committed a crime until they commit that shit. But black people get racially profiled. But we don't talk about that. Like Myron is such a fuck nigga, bro. I look at this nigga as a fucking goofy, a fucking doink, a fucking dweeb, bro. Like he's just one of those people that I don't think anybody should be going to him for advice on any fucking thing. Especially once we found out he was paying for Angie's bills for damn near 3 fucking years or however long they've been dating while getting no pussy. That's some shit. That is some shit. And she's fucking the rollerblader one because he was the one. Well, she was fucking the one that probably makes a lot less money than Myron. I mean, I don't know now because this nigga got demonetized, so who the fuck knows? And you know what the crazy part is? He's talking about if he ever gets demonetized, he's gonna be good. He don't ever gotta do YouTube or nothing like that. So why are you doing the debates and shit? Is not because you wanna argue something. Is not that. I think like O'Shea said, he's doing it to get a clip to go viral. That's what he's doing it for. Because well, why would I expose myself to that if I'm well off on money and I'm good and I don't gotta do nothing? I'ma just chill and enjoy my bread. But nah, he ain't doing that. The nigga broke, and he wants us to believe otherwise. So I'm gonna catch y'all niggas later, man. If y'all like the video, if y'all like the content, man, like, comment, and subscribe, boo. And I'm gonna catch y'all later, bro. I'm the check the yeah, bro. Just like, comment, and subscribe. But if nobody told y'all niggas, I'm gonna let y'all niggas know I fucking love y'all, bro. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. I appreciate y'all for checking in. I appreciate y'all for watching the video. And I appreciate y'all for making it this far with me and listening to my ramblings. Alright, man. Peace. I love y'all. Deuce.